guys doing? Hope you're gonna have an awesome day today. Overseer, if you already queued, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe. But while you at it, go ahead, push that bell for notifications so you can get to scoop my news upcoming videos. Alright, so this is gonna be a movie review video of Twilight Saga New Moon. Now I can see why everybody loved New Moon the most of the whole Twilight Saga series. Besides Breaking Dawn Part 1, Breaking Dawn Part 2. I thoroughly did enjoy it myself. Surprisingly, I did. I know. It's insane, but let me tell you this. So, what's inside of it, let's just say that in this movie, we got to see more of Jacob Black, and we got to see a lot more screen timing. Not just the screen timing of him, we got to see his background story and who he really actually is. Deep down inside, he's actually part of a tribal. It's his tribe, basically. He's actually an ancestor of the leader of the tribe. We'll get into that in a moment's notice, but first off, let's talk about what happened at the beginning, shall we? So, at school, basically, it's Bella's birthday, actually, and Edward gets out of the car. Let's just say that, yeah, Bella is super attached to Edward. I mean, when they took a picture together, I'm gonna tell you what she did with the picture when she took it home in a moment. So, they're in class, and basically, he was telling Bella about the Volturi. I believe that's what they're called, the oldest vampires in the book. Basically, they keep law and order, and I guess if you want to die, you go to them, and they're the ones who actually do kill you. Basically, they're the most powerful and strongest, I guess you could say, organization. The Volturi, I believe that's what he calls it, Edward said when he was talking to Bella about it. Now the thing is, she had a birthday party. When she went over to her birthday party, she went over to the Carlisle's house, the Cullens house, and let's just say that she accidentally got cut on her finger opening a present. Then Jasper comes in. Edward ends up seeing Jasper's out for blood. He's about to actually try to kill Bella. And let's just say that Bella, she managed to get away from him. Well, technically, Edward pushed her, and she just hit her arm right on the desk and just completely broke the desk. They had to hold down Jasper and calm him down, relax, go into the other room and stuff. Your face is bloodshot red and stuff. I guess he can't really control his bloodthirst. Now Edward and Carlisle, they're both immaculate, easily trained. It takes them a long time. It takes the vampires a long time to control their bloodlust. I can say that for fact matters. And so, we reach at home. When we reach at home at Bella's house, let's just say that Bella has a picture of her and Edward she took, and she folded it. You only can see Edward. She put it on a notebook and she taped it. That's how obsessed she is and how much she loves Edward so much. And then, whoa, that's when the breakup comes. Yes. So, he says to Bella, let's talk. They walk into the woods a little bit, and then she ends up saying that, so what do you want to talk about? Edward says that Carlisle, people are starting to question him about his age, because Carlisle is a doctor. Actually, he works at a hospital, and people are saying that, why don't you even age anymore? They're getting really sus and suspicious about that. So Edward says that we're going to have to leave. And when Bella says, you mean we're? You mean just you and your family, not me? And he said, I had to leave Forks. I had to leave this place. Basically, he broke up with Bella. Her heart was super broke up insanely, and she was desperate, and she was not angry. She was depressed and sad. So basically what happened, she was lost. She was trying to run after Edward inside the woods, but she forgot that he is a bloody vampire. He could vamp away, run super fast and stuff, which he did. And so she knocked herself out, but she blacked out actually. She blacked out by crying too much, and her heart was breaking really, really extremely bad. And so a werewolf was able to find her. The werewolf was part of, I guess you could say, Jacob's tribal pack. So the werewolf came into place, and it found Bella because Charlie called in the reinforcements because Bella was lost. It was like, I say, like probably 6 hours. She didn't report in to like home and stuff, or Charlie, anyone. Um, so, well, after that, I guess you could say that Sam is like the leader of the werewolf tribe, but Jacob doesn't even know it just yet. But Jacob, he keeps losing his friends one by one to Sam because he thinks that Sam is like leading the cult, but in reality, Sam is actually helping out uh, some of their tribal members when they start to uh, aggress some emotions and some symptoms. They're gonna be turned into werewolves real soon. Sam is just helping them out, but Jacob doesn't even know about that yet. And so eventually soon, Bella, she stays in her own bedroom for like, I say 3-4 months and stuff. And it's like next year, she's literally at school and she's sitting in Edward's chair, like where the rest of the Cullen family sit at. She was sitting right in his chair and stuff. Like, that's how much she loved and misses him, like so much, so bad and stuff. It was absolutely like mind-blowing and shocking how someone would love someone, they would like actually go that far. Okay, so let's fast forward this a little bit. So she finds some two, I guess you say, little motorcycles that were junked up and stuff. So she put them inside her truck and she drove to see Jacob Black. Now Jacob is an engineer. He knows how to fix up cars, motorcycles. He's a motorcycle guy basically. So yeah, they end up hanging out and spending a lot of time together and stuff. So she feels a little more better, like there's a comfort in her heart, like there's a hole inside her heart, but Jacob feels that hole inside her heart up, which she really does admirably love so much. And she becomes friends with Jacob, but a little more friendly with Jacob, kind of a little bit more friendly, I'd say, like a little more friends, like best friends. Slowly they're like almost like, I guess you could say, a little intimate, like about to kiss basically. That's all I could say a little bit. And so what happened one time is that, let's just say that he stopped answering her calls and they couldn't hang out anymore. And Bella was questioning, like, why isn't he answering the calls? She was like, Sam must have gotten to him. There's something wrong. So she goes over to Jacob's house. It's raining and she sees Jacob. He already cut his hair. He has like, I guess, well, his hair, what it looks like now, it's like a nice fade and stuff. Not exactly a fade. I don't know, it's short hair, kind of like a white boy's hair. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, forgive me. Alright, so he has short hair now, and well, let's just say that he tells Bella, leave now, I don't want to see you ever again. And she says, you can't break up with me, I mean, you promised me. He did, he promised that he wouldn't leave her like Edward did. And he said, I know, I promise you that I will never hurt you. Now this is me fulfilling my promise. Go home and don't come back, or you will get hurt. And so he ended up leaving her, and I'm like, damn. So she lost her boyfriend, the lover of life, and now her best friend. That is so heavy right there to find out. But yeah, the thing is that she goes inside the woods again, where so she could find out. It was like her and Edward's spot where they would lie inside the flowers and stuff. But then she runs into LaRoche, the vampire with dreads. Yes, he actually comes to her and says, oh, okay, so Bella, I went to the Cullen house and they're not here. Throughout all this time, when Bella was all alone, she kept on seeing visions of Edward. Like, if she ever want to go on a guy's motorcycle, she would see a vision of him saying, why are you doing this? Don't do this. Stop this. I was like, okay, this is a little cringe right here. She's seeing him like in visions, like a forced ghost, basically. I could say that. Edward was like a force ghost. But in this case, he kind of helped her a little bit because LaRoche asked Bella, do the Cullens visit often? And then the vision of Edward says, lie to him. And she says, yes, of course they do all the time. And Edward says, lie better. And she says, I'll tell them you visited. I shouldn't probably tell Edward because he's overprotective. And LaRoche said, but he's not here, is he? And she says, why are you even here? And he says, well, this was a courtesy for Victoria. Victoria was the third rogue vampire. Obviously, of course, the thing is that Victoria sent LaRoche over to see if Bella was still under the protection of the Cullens, because Edward basically killed the love of her life. Yes, since he killed her, it was like an eye for eye. Basically, she wanted to kill Bella because Edward killed Victoria's lover. Yeah, so that's how it goes. Quick pro call. That's what she wanted. So he was more of a, I guess you could say, a pawn in the situation, a messenger. But then he said that, you know what, Victoria wouldn't like me killing you, but I can't help it, you're so mouth-watering. And she said, please, Laura, she helped us. And he said, relax, relax, I'm doing you a kindness. Victoria plans on killing you slow and painful. As for me, I will do it quick, I promise you. You won't feel nothing. I was like, okay, now this is like really heavy and deep and a little bit dark right here, what he says. So he was going to like literally rip out her throat and stuff. She closed her eyes and she said, Edward, I love you. Then we saw these big ass werewolves that come out of nowhere. And LaRoche, she's all surprised. He says, I don't believe it. So these werewolves ended up chasing after the dude with the dreadlocks. The vampire with the dreadlocks. He runs away, and there's this werewolf. He walks right by Bella and looks at Bella like he knows who Bella really is. And then they start running after the vampire. Bella runs back inside to see Charlie, and she says, Dad, they're not bears, they're wolves. I mean, like huge wolves. They're after something. And he said, Bella, what the hell were you doing in the woods? She said, I was just looking for something. And then he said, alright, well, Bill, you ready to go hunting? You want to bring some of your men? Bill actually has a heart attack when they were going hunting in the woods. Bill, Claire Waterfield, I believe that was his name. Yeah, he had a heart attack and died. And so let's just say that, I guess you could say Jacob came back into Bella's house. She came back to Bella's house. He actually came through the window. He like hopped from like her house onto the tree and then went on the tree branch and then swooped right through her window. And he just tells her like, there's something I want to tell you, but I literally cannot say. So he says, do you remember the story what I told you on the push? And she says, yeah, about the Cullens. He says, I guess I know that's one of the reasons why I understand you only know that part of the story. He says, please try to remember the rest of the story so that she'll put the pieces together herself. Which she's smart, she could put the pieces together. Eventually, she'll be able to know that he's part of a werewolf tribe, and that was him actually in the werewolf form she saw. So, well, she finally puts the pieces together, goes to Jacob's place, and she sees Sam, and Sam is, I don't know, Jacob says that they're cult members. Let's just say that it was the little group of werewolves. We'll just say that little group of werewolves he was traveling around with. That was the first time she actually experienced being around, I guess you could say, werewolves. And so one of them, like, I guess was laughing and said, what did Jake tell you? She said he didn't tell me anything because he's scared of you. And one of them was laughing and she slapped him, and then he turned into a werewolf and she was running her ass off. She said, Jacob, run. And nope, Jacob did not run. He ran straight towards a werewolf and transformed himself into a werewolf. And they both collided and started fighting and stuff. It was a whole other deal and stuff. So Sam said, take it back to Emily's. Emily is Sam's fiance, basically. And Sam's fiance, she has like a mark scratch on her face, and I'll get into why what happens. So now her and Jacob are close, and Jacob finally gets to tell her like the full-on story, the scoop of what happened and how he became, or why he's related to his werewolf tribe, Bloodland clan. I guess you could call it. Well, not a clan, I say a tribe. So he's there for Bella now. He's protecting Bella. Then Bella decides to do something stupid. She decides to go cliff diving. She nearly died. Jacob saved her. And then when Jacob took her home, well, one of the Cullens showed up. It was Alice. Alice went checking on her. It wasn't his turf to call on, meaning he couldn't really protect Bella if there were vampires near her house. If it was like, because it's Cullen territory basically. And so he told Bella, I can't protect you, but he still eventually went inside Bella's house and said that I guess I don't care about the treaty, the rules, or anything like that. And so she says, Alice says, well, I'm not going to hurt her. He says, no, you're just a little precious Cullen. I'm talking about the other bloodsucker that has been chasing down Bella, trying to kill her because of you. And Alice says, was it because of Victoria? And Alice kind of insulted Jacob. She says that I didn't see you get pulled from the water. And she turned to Jacob, I can't see you or your pack of mutts. And Jacob said, don't test me because things will go very badly for you. So they go inside the kitchen, her and Jacob, they're about to kiss. Then Edward calls, and well, let's just say that Jacob says something that triggered Edward. He says Charlie can't come to the phone right now because he's planning a funeral. That automatically put something in Edward's head, meaning like Bella's dead, and it's all because of me. I left her and stuff. Who knows what happened, what she did. And so after all that happened, basically he went to the Volturi. He wanted the Volturi to kill him. So then Bella went all the way to, oh my goodness, Romania. I believe it was Romania with Alice. She was able to stop Edward from trying to kill himself and stuff, but the Volturi, they're able to actually try to test out their powers on Bella to see why she's immune, because basically Edward can't read her thoughts. They're like, if you can't read her thoughts and she's human, she's unique then. And so what they end up doing is using all their powers and stuff, but then she actually says that kill me and not Edward. She'll actually die for Edward, a soulless vampire, he said. And then Alice said that Bella will become one of us. I saw him. Alice has vision, so he was able to hold Bella's hand, and I mean not Bella, but Alice's hand, and vision her. He saw that eventually Bella will become a vampire, so he said, go now, make your preparations. So they go home, and Charlie says that you're grounded forever because you've been gone for 3 days. And then once they're in the car, Jacob comes out of nowhere and he wants to talk to Edward. So he says, have you forgotten about the key treaty in the clan? Because Bella already talked to the Cullens, and the Cullens agreed that Bella should be part of their family, meaning Edward will turn her. You know, but the Volturi even said that you need to turn her or else we'll kill her. Anyways, so yeah, the key treaty is that no Cullen should bite or churn a human. If they do, they break the treaty, and the werewolves will come after the Cullens and kill them all. So basically, Bella said, well, that doesn't have to apply to me. What if I don't want it? And Jacob says, I don't care, I'm not going to let you. And she says, don't let me choose because it's going to be Jacob. I mean, it's going to be Edward. It'll always be Edward. So Jacob got pissed off and mad. He kind of teared up a little bit and just left in his werewolf form. And Edward said, if you really want me to do this, churn you, marry me. The end. That was the end of it. So I have no idea why people would give this 4 out of 10, but I gotta say, I would give this one a 7 out of 10. Probably for the first one, I would give it just like 4 out of 10, but this one, I would give it a 7 out of 10. You know what? I'm gonna switch that. I'm gonna change that 8 out of 10, because I'm Team Jacob. Yes, I'm proud to say that. I'm Team Jacob. Other than that, I gotta watch Eclipse now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys new, subscribe to the channel as always. And yes, of course, I'll see you all in the next one.